Good morning, everybody. Does anyone need to go into a breakout room?
That's what he told me. He says, it sounds like they're trying to cut some kind of deal, so. They are.
You're, Miss Edmonds, yep.
Yeah, thank you. I don't think the attorney for Park Estates is here yet, but once he gets here, I think that would be great.
Okay, you got it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Good morning, Miss Hart.
Good morning.
I'm going to put you in a breakout room with Miss Edmonds and her students.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Ms. Edmonds, do you need to speak with Ms. McClendon or are you ready for the judge?
Benji and Betsy, do you need to confer with her?
I think
think-
if we could just have like a minute, it should be very brief.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Yes, if you could. It
Okay,
should be very
yep,
brief.
1 second, please.
Thank you.
Hello. So we're ready when you all are.
Okay, I'll let the judge know.
Ms. Hart, while we're waiting for the judge, there were a couple other issues that came up when we were talking to Ms. McClendon. Benji and Betsy, if you want to just.
Ms. Edmonds, do you want to go back into a breakout with Ms. Hart?
No, if you're ready, I think we can do it on the record.
I'm here until 4, so if you want to go back in, it's fine with me.
I don't, Ms. Hart, do you feel okay about talking about this on the record, or do you want to go back to a breakout room?
No, we can talk about it on the record.
Okay, all right.
Let me call this case is 223378 LT. This is Park Estates versus Alona McClendon. May I have your appearances, please?
Good morning, Your Honor. Sumchit Hart, P69542. I'm here on behalf of plaintiff, Park Estates, MHP, and we're also the counter defendants, Your Honor.
This is Benjamin Applebaum requesting permission to practice under MCR 8.120 for the defendant Alona McClendon.
Permission granted. Thank you.
And this is Elizabeth Shepard, also requesting to practice under Michigan Court Rule 8.120 on behalf of Ms. Alona McClendon.
Permission granted. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Today is the day and time set for the final pretrial in this matter that is scheduled for jury trial on December 16, 2022. I note that the parties have had quite extensive conversation this morning. Mr. Applebaum, how do we stand this morning, sir?
Yes, so we have agreed to a conditional order of dismissal. We've agreed to terms. We wanted to clarify a few things with opposing counsel just to make sure that our client is clear on her responsibilities and everything that will occur. So we can take it from the top on the payment if you'd like, or we can just go into the just remaining clarifications right now.
However you wish to proceed. If I have questions at the end of your recitation, we'll go into it at that time, okay?
Sure. So on payment, what we've agreed is that our client has made escrow payments for the past 3 months. And so we're going to release those payments to Park Estates. One thing that we wanted to work out is whether we could partially release payment now and partially release the rest on December 31st, when we've agreed that the repairs will be completed by. And so we were wondering.
While I look into that, okay.
Okay. So yeah, that was one question, but that was a term. And then our client has agreed that she'll pay $1,440 in 4 installments of $360 for the next 4 months, and that Park Estates will waive the rest of the rent and the month-to-month fees and the late fees. Our client has agreed that she will pay the pet initiation fee and the pet fee for her pet. And we wanted to just clarify for registering her pet. I remember you had mentioned about she needs to register the weight and the breed. And so we wanted to get a name and a phone number and email where she can send that information.
May I interject, Your Honor?
Yes, please.
That is correct, Your Honor. The the defendant would release to us the escrow amounts, October, November, December's rent, partial payment if that is acceptable to the court of the escrow, and then remainder after repairs are made. But for clarification, she will pay $1,440, so $1,440. But in installments of $360 beginning in December and going through March of 2023. The pet fee to register the dog would have to be sent to Andrea Sherman at Park Estates. And I can give you her her contact information. That way they can contact her directly. So Andrea's phone number is 801-331-8040. A Sherman at rootsmg.com would be the email address.
Okay, great.
I have a few questions.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, before you proceed. So the front of the court file shows an escrow payment on October 3rd and one on November 1st. So that's two payments that I show. And maybe Miss McClendon made another payment, but the file's been with me, so there's no notation. Miss McClendon, have you made 3 payments?
Yes, ma'am, I have. I made my December payment yesterday.
Okay, so when you say release the escrow in 2 parts, the order to release escrow allows the court or whoever submits the order to put in there how it will be released. So if you want to say immediately release X to Park Estates with the remainder of the escrow released on a future date, we can do it that way. That's fine. And then these 3 payments on the 1440 from December till March of 2023, did you discuss and agree upon a specific date that Ms. McClendon will make those payments, or will that be in your settlement document that you'll submit within the next maybe week or so?
From my understanding, Your Honor, it's 4 payments of $360, December, January, February, March, to be paid at the same time her normal rent is due, because that's in addition to her monthly rent.
What
Is
day is
that-
rent due?
December 1st, the 1st of the month, Your Honor. It's not late until after the 5th of the month.
And the reason I'm asking is that if the payments start in December, then her December $360 is already due or will be due before Monday.
Correct.
Okay. So these 364 months is on on the 1st of the month. Plaintiff is waiving the month-to-month fees, late fees. And Ms. McClendon, she's supposed to contact Ms. Sherman directly regarding the pet initiation and the fee, the amount, or is that something that you're going to put into your settlement document?
It'll also be in the settlement document, but yes, Your Honor. So she just has to register with Ms. Sherman, the weight of the dog, the breed of the dog, and then pay the initial pet fee and the ongoing month-to-month fee. Month-to-month.
I think you just broke up for a sec. The month-to-month pet fee, not the month-to-month rent.
Correct.
Is that what you're clarifying? Okay, great. So not really month-to-month fee, the monthly pet fee.
Yes.
Okay, all right. Just so we're
And then
clear.
Mr. Applebaum, you were I thought somebody maybe mentioned repairs, or Mr. Applebaum,
Yes.
you were going to expand upon, okay.
Yeah, so if we're set on payment, I can get into, we've also agreed that certain repairs will be made. And so those are the repairs of a tripping bathtub and sink, the replacement of a broken window, the repair of holes in a shed, the repair of a toilet, the insertion of a doorstop, the painting over of a wall, the replacement of a doorknob, fixing a faucet and putting covers on the porch light, and So those are the repairs that we agreed on. We just, in speaking to Ms. McClendon, she mentioned that as the repair person was fixing her wall, there was an issue with the outlets coming out. So we wanted to mention that. And then we had mentioned in a previous list, not the latest list, but we had mentioned in October about how there was an issue with her driveway cracking, and she says that that has continued to get worse. So we wanted to see if we could agree on those as well.
I think Ms. McClendon can speak to the condition of the driveway. She says that it's in such bad repair that she needs to keep something over the area of disrepair in order to keep her children safe. So that had been, as Benji said, on our earlier list and somehow got lost along the way. But Ms. McClendon, do you want to speak a little bit to what the driveway issue is?
So when I first moved here, the driveway, it just had like a little crack in it, like in the asphalt. But as like, you know, like we shovel and things like that, it continues to break down. So I have put my car, like one of my cars that is not working anymore, over the top of that, because if my kids run across the driveway, they fall. Because it's not stable. There's a lot of like, just like the gravel is just like rocks. It's just not, it's not paved like the rest of the driveway. So now if I don't know, I could take the water hose out there, or even if it snows and I have to shovel, it just breaks it down even more. And for some time, we haven't had anyone in the office for me to address those concerns to about the driveway. So the only thing that I could do is just put the car over it.
Have the parties discussed a deadline to make these repairs?
Yes, Your Honor, the deadline would be December 31st. I'm being told by my property manager, I'm not sure that the driveway is feasible by the 31st. We are gonna look into that.
And default provisions, should Ms. McClendon fail to make these 4 payments, or the complex fails to make the repairs by the date given, was that discussed by the parties?
Yeah, so if she fails to make her payments, then a writ would issue within, for whenever whenever she's in default. So if she does December, rent, that's fine. But if she fails in January, then we'd ask for a writ to issue.
So we did not actually get into the nitty gritty of that, and we would want a provision of where there's an affidavit of non-compliance that could be filed by either side,
So like
not
for
an
a,
immediate writ. Yeah.
right, so for a provision.
And the default, should Park Estates fail to make the repairs by December 31st?
So one would be that the escrow would not be released if those
The
repairs were
balance
not
of the half on deposit.
correct.
Okay,
And then I think we would have an affidavit of non-compliance provision that addresses defaults by either side.
and which party is drafting this agreement?
We've agreed to draft the agreement.
And are you submitting it as a 7-day or as a stipulated order?
As a stipulated order.
I'm sorry, one more time.
I was asking, were you going to submit this order pursuant to the 7-day rule, or was it going to be a stipulated order?
It'll be a stipulated order, Your Honor, with signatures.
How long do you anticipate to have this filed?
I believe we can have it filed in 7 days, Your Honor. If we could have a control date though, just to make sure it's entered.
I will leave your trial date on December 16th, but I'm going to not leave it on as a jury trial date so I can let our clerk know. I will leave it as a status conference, maybe. Mary Ann, we can let Carol know.
Yep.
It's hard for me to waive off jurors when we don't have an entered order. So if you can get it done within the week, it'd be great, and I'll let the clerk know so she can release that jury pool. I just wanted to make notes about where your agreement was, so that if you need me for something else, reach out to my office and let me know. Otherwise, if you can get your stipulated order in, the sooner the better. Otherwise, I'll see you back here on the 16th, but it will not be with jurors. Because Mr. Applebaum, I understand you to say that a jury trial on December 16th is no longer required or necessary.
Yes, that's correct, Your Honor.
And Ms. Hart, same question to you. We no longer need to have a jury present on December 16th.
That is correct, Your Honor.
Okay. As soon as the order comes in, I'll review it and sign it, so long as it contains what we spoke about today. And I would encourage you to be clear on what your default terms are and the expected repairs. Was there something else, Mr. Applebaum?
Well, I think we just want to make sure, as far as making the payments, that we don't have Ms. McClendon miss her first payment while we're drafting the agreement, since there's been an issue with the portal and how she's not able to make payments in part. So the portal would have to be reset and then have that $360 fee. So we can discuss it as we draft the agreement, but I'm not sure that logistically if she'll be able to make that first payment by December 5th. So that's something that we'll have to discuss.
Ms. Shepherd, was there something you wanted to add?
No, Your Honor, Mr. Applebaum has covered it. Thank you.
Anything else, Ms. Hart?
Nothing additional, Your Honor.
Thank you. Thank you all for your efforts this morning. Ms. McClendon, thank you for being so prompt and helping to resolve this matter. Bless you. I hope not to see you on
Thank you.
December 16th, so good luck in drafting your settlement document. Everyone
Thanks.
have a good day. Thank you, Professor Edmonds.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Judge.
Your Honor.
Thank you very much.